Welcome back to my teacher's program. We have been discussing the resistors in series and resistors in parallel. Now let us see once again how they are different from each other with a very simple example. You all know what is a bulb in one way or the other in your house. You might have done the experiment using a bulb and a cell. Everybody might have done this. So consider a cell connected across an ordinary bulb. Across a cell, and if you send current, you can see the bulb glows. When you are giving a voltage of, say for example, even if you give it to a 220 volt supply, when you connect the bulb to that 220 volt supply, the bulb glows using the current I. Now let us consider one more bulb like that, and you put that two bulbs one after the other across the same source 220 volt supply. When you put two bulbs like this one after the other, now it becomes a series connection of the bulbs. Now let us see whether the current flow will be the same, whether the glow will be the same. In the first case, you had only one bulb of resistance R and the voltage you have applied, let me take it as V. The current was I. Then naturally the current flowing through that one is V divided by R. Now what we have done, we have connected two identical bulbs of the same resistance R and R in series across a same supply voltage 220. So what is remaining the same here? V is still remaining the same. V is equal to 220 volt. But now what you have done, you have connected two resistors in series. When we connect two resistors in series, the total resistance become R plus R, because effective resistance in series is the sum of the individual resistances. Now the total resistance in series is equal to 2R, and let us see what happened to the current. The new current in series will be equal to V divided by RS, that is equal to V divided by 2R. And that shows in the first expression V by R is equal to I, and I in series has now become I divided by 2. That means only half of the current is flowing now through the circuit. The bulb will glow, sure it will glow again, but only with very less brightness, not glowing exactly like how you had given before you gave exactly 220 volt. But now what has happened is the voltage gets divided. Out of 220, the first bulb gets 110, the second gets also 110 only. Because of that, the current through the circuit become exactly half of the previous value, and because of that the glow of the bulb will be comparatively less. This is the effect of connecting two bulbs in series. Now let us see in another way. If one of the bulb fuses, will the other bulb continue working? No. When a bulb fuses, there is an open occurring in the circuit, it becomes an open circuit. Through an open circuit, the current will never flow. If current cannot flow, then the bulb cannot glow, even the other bulb stops working. So in series connection, each device cannot work independently. One depends on the other to work efficiently. So that means if one break is coming in the circuit, the other device also stops working. And the second drawback is they are not able to work to their full capacity. How they can work to their full capacity? If they have to work, they should get the required voltage. But they are not getting the required voltage. The voltage, each bulb is getting reduced to half of the value they require. So naturally, they cannot work to their full capacity. Now let us see how this changes in the case of a parallel circuit. If instead of connecting these bulbs in series, let us connect these bulbs in parallel, one after the other, one below the other, across the same endpoints or across the same supply of 220 volt. You have connected the same bulbs of same resistances R and R now across the same supply but in parallel. When you connect so, what happened to the total resistance? You have learned right now that 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R. When you connect two resistors in parallel, the reciprocal of the effective resistance is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the resistances. So, 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R means 2 by R. So, what is the new resistance now? R divided by 2. Now, let us substitute the value of that one in current expression Ip equal V divided by Rp. When you substitute, you get 2V divided by R. That means the current in the circuit doubles. That is showing very clearly that the total current in the circuit is now double of the current which was flowing with only one bulb before. Once again I repeat, since the reciprocal of the resistance is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances, the total resistance in the circuit will become half, the current will double. When the current is doubling like that, each bulb is getting equal amount of current because they are identical resistors. And the current through the first bulb is also high, the second bulb is also high. The bulbs glow with the same efficiency as before, they are getting 220 volt and the required current also. So, in parallel connection, they can work to their full capacity because they are getting the required voltage and the required current. Now, if one of the bulb fuses, what happens? When one bulb fuses, the other continues to work because the circuit is still complete via the second bulb. So, that shows very clearly that each device is working independently without depending on the other. Even if one open is coming in the circuit, that means one of the bulbs get fused, the other still continues to work. So, in parallel, each device can work independently and each device can work to their full capacity. Why they can work to their full capacity? Because they are getting the required amount of the current and the required amount of the voltage, and they both will glow with the same brightness even if they would have been connected individually to a 220 volt supply. So, in general, this is the effect of the connection in series as well as in parallel. If you are connecting resistors in series, the voltage get divided up. When connecting in parallel, the current get divided up. But every appliance in parallel is getting the same voltage and the required current. Now, we will give a recap of whatever we have done through a small slide show. The voltage divides between the resistors. The current flow is the same throughout the circuit. Each device cannot work independently. Each device cannot work to their full capacity. The equivalent resistance of a group of resistances joined in series is equal to the sum of the individual resistances. These are the points that we have seen when we have connected the resistors in series. So, every resistor get the voltage that is getting that are different, the current is remaining the same. Every device cannot work independently because if one device gets off, then the other also will stop working, and every device cannot work to their full capacity because they are not getting the required voltage. The equivalent resistance becomes the sum of the individual resistances. Now, let us see the next slide of resistors in parallel. When you are connecting resistors in parallel, every branch is receiving the same voltage because all the resistors are connected between the same endpoints across the positive and the negative of the supply. The current is divided among the resistors, but all the resistors, each resistor get the correct current according to their resistance. If more the resistance, less current it will get. If less resistance, more current they will get, but the current gets divided between the resistors. Every device can work independently. The meaning of this is, even if one of the bulb fuses or one of the resistors stops working, the others still continue to work. So every device can work independently. Every device can work to their full capacity because they get the same voltage and the required voltage. The reciprocal of the equivalent resistance in parallel is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances, by which we can see that the total resistance in parallel will decrease. So, thus we have seen that we can thus we have seen a recap of how resistors can be connected in series and how resistors can be connected in parallel. Now, let us now try to solve some of the questions based on resistors in series and in parallel. These questions are taken from the NCERT textbook of grade 10. One by one we will be discussing the question, how to solve them, what are the steps involved in them. Let us begin one by one. Let us see the first question. Draw a schematic diagram of a circuit consisting of a battery of 3 cells of 2 volt each, a 5 ohm resistor, an 8 ohm resistor and a 12 ohm resistor and a plug key, all connected in series. Put in an ammeter to measure the current through the resistors and a voltmeter to measure the potential difference across the 12 ohm resistor. What would be the readings in the ammeter and the voltmeter? Now, let us see how we can solve this problem. Draw a schematic diagram of a circuit which consists of 3 cells. This is the first cell having a voltage 2. Now, one more cell having a voltage again 2. The next cell also having a voltage 2. They all are connected in series, and these 3 resistors are connected via a key. A key should be connected in series, and then you have an ammeter to measure the current through all the resistors, and we have to connect 3 resistors in series, 8 ohm, 5 ohm and 12 ohm in series. So, we have connected as per the question 3 cells in series, each having 2 volt, an ammeter to measure the current, 3 resistors 8 ohm, 5 ohm and 12 ohm in series, and then we are asked to measure the potential difference across only the 12 ohm. They are asking us to connect the voltmeter across the 12 ohm only. To connect the voltmeter across the 12 ohm to measure the potential difference across it. Now, according to this equation, the total voltage of this circuit will be equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is equal to 6 volt. The total resistance in the circuit will be equal to 8 plus 5 plus 12, that is equal to 25 ohms. So, every resistor, that 8 ohm, 5 ohm and 12 ohm, they all get the same value of the current. So, ammeter reading can be obtained by dividing V by R according to the Ohm's law. V is equal to 6, the resistance is equal to 25 ohms, then you can divide it 0.24 amperes. The amount of current flowing through the circuit will be equal to 0.24. 6 divided by 25, the answer obtained will be equal to 0.24 amperes. We have got the ammeter reading. The ammeter reading measures, ammeter is a device which measures current. So, we have measured the current, the value of the current is equal to 0.24 amperes. Now, we are asked to find the potential difference across a 12 ohm resistor. To measure the potential difference, we need to again use the Ohm's law, and according to the Ohm's law, we need only the potential difference across the 12 ohm. Since 12 ohm is connected in series with 8 ohm and 5 ohm, the current through the 12 ohm resistor is also 0.24 ampere. So, we know the current through 12 ohm. The current through 12 ohm is equal to 0.24 ampere. The resistance of 12 ohm resistor is equal to 12 ohm. So, naturally we can find out the voltage across 12 ohm resistor alone as IR. If I name this resistor as R3, I can name this voltage as IR3. It is the third resistor. This is R1, this is R2 and this is R3. Then the resistor R3 is equal to 12 ohm. The current through that resistor is 0.24 amperes. The voltage across that resistor is IR3, that is 12 into 0.24. When you multiply 12 into 0.24, you will get it as 2.88 volt. That means the voltage across this resistor is equal to 2.88 volt. This can be measured using the voltmeter. After doing a particular sum, don't leave your answer only as V is equal to 2.88 volt, and even you cannot leave your answer as current I is simply as 0.24 ampere. You have to give the answer according to the question. The question is being asked like this: what is the reading of the ammeter and the voltmeter? They want to identify whether the students know how to, which device is used for measuring current and which device is used for measuring potential difference. So, you must write the answer by stressing that the ammeter reading is equal to 0.24 ampere and the voltmeter reading is equal to 2.88 volt. Now, we will move to the next question. An electric lamp of 100 ohms, a toaster of resistance 50 ohms and a water filter of resistance 500 ohms are connected in parallel to a 220 volt source. What is the resistance of an electric iron connected to the same source that takes as much current as all the three appliances, and what is the current through it? An electric lamp of 100 ohms, a toaster of resistance 50 ohms. Let us see how we can solve this problem. We have connected a toaster of 100 ohms, a lamp of 100 ohms, a toaster of 50 ohms and a water filter of 500 ohms across a source of 220 volt. They are asking us to find out what will be the resistance of an electric iron which will replace all the three resistors to send the same amount of current. That is what is the meaning of effective resistance. Instead of asking directly what is the effective resistance of resistors connected in parallel, they have put it in another way, as if you are replacing all these three resistors by a single resistor such that it sends the same current through the supply. When you are connecting it to the same source, that is 220 volt, when you are connecting, the same amount of current is flowing through the circuit. So, what we actually have to find is the effective resistance of 100 ohm, 50 ohm and 500 ohm and the current through the circuit. To find that one, what you people have to do is 1 by Rp is equal to, name these resistors as R1, R2 and R3. After naming them as R1, R2 and R3, find out the effective resistance by the formula 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. That is equal to 1 divided by 100 plus 1 divided by 50 plus 1 divided by 500. You have to take the LCM will be equal to 500. Then you have to find it 5 plus 10 plus 1, that is equal to 16. So, Rp will be equal to 1 by Rp is equal to 5 plus 10 plus 1 divided by 500. So, you will get the value of the effective resistance Rp equal to 500 divided by 16 ohms. You have to divide this value and find out the effective resistance. This will come as, you can cancel it and find out, and after that you will have to calculate the current in the circuit by the formula V divided by Rp. The total V is equal to 220 and the resistance what we have got it, you can cut it and shorten it and find out 250 divided by 8, then again you can divide it by 125 divided by 4 and then again you can solve it, that is 31.25 ohms. The value 31.25 ohms you will get it, and then you have to substitute into this equation. 125 by 4 will be better to substitute because it is easier to solve a fraction rather than a decimal. While writing the answer of Rp, you can write it as 31.25, but when you are solving it, better make use of the fraction for solving the question. So, that means 220 divided by 125 into 4, that will be 220 into 4 divided by 125. You have to solve it and find out this answer. This you people can try at home by yourself once again. Now, let us move on to the next question. How can three resistors of resistances 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm be connected to give a total resistance of 4 ohm, 1 ohm? How can three resistors of resistances 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm be connected in order to get a total effective resistance of 4 ohm and 1 ohm? Let us solve them one by one. The first one, you are given in the question a 2 ohm resistor, a 3 ohm resistor and a 6 ohm resistor. The first question is how you will connect them to get a 4 ohm resistance. So, we have to use them as a suitable combination of either series or parallel in order to get the total answer as 4 ohm. Anyway, when you are connecting all the three in series, your answer would have been greater than 6. When we are connecting all of them in series, the total resistance will be always the maximum. That means, it will be bigger than the biggest of the resistors given. Out of 2, 3 and 6, 6 is the biggest value. And if you are finding the total resistance using series, that value will be even bigger than 6 ohm. And if we are connecting all of them in parallel, then your answer will be smaller than the smallest among the three. That means, your answer will be even lesser than 1 ohm. So, this is not a 4 ohm is not a number more than 6 ohm, neither it is a number below 1 ohm. So, it is somewhere between them, showing that it is a combination of both series and parallel used for making a 4 ohm resistor. Now, let us try this way. Connect a 2 ohm to a parallel combination of 3 ohm and 6 ohm. Now, how is the circuit coming is 3 and 6 are now in parallel. We will find out what is the effective resistance of 6 and 3 in parallel. We can replace the same setup as a 2 ohm and another resistor as X. I am naming that effective combination of 6 and 3 as X. So, we can find out the value of this X as 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. LCM of 3 and 6 is 6, 3 2s are 6, 6 1s are 6. So, 1 by X is equal to 3 divided by 6. That means, X is equal to 6 divided by 3, that is equal to 2 ohms. That means, the combination of 3 and 6 is behaving like a 2 ohm connected in series with another 2 ohm resistor. Now, they both are in series. When they both are in series, naturally the total resistance will become 2 plus 2, that is equal to 4 ohm. So, how we must connect this 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm in order to get 4 ohm resistor? How you can express that in words? Either you can express that in words or you can represent it as a diagram as I have shown on the board. If you want to represent that in the form of in words or as a statement, then you will say first connect 3 ohm and 6 ohm in parallel and that combination is connected in series to a 2 ohm resistor. Then the total resistance will be equal to 4 ohm. So, if you want to get 4 ohm from this connection, mixed combination of parallel and series you have to use. Now, let us see the third case, second case. In the second case, we are asked to get the total resistance as 1 ohm. And first you can try this way. You can see we are given 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm. Out of 2, 3 and 6, 2 is the smallest number and this answer is even smaller than the smallest. In parallel, your answer is usually smaller than the smallest. So, let us connect all the 3 in parallel and see whether the effective resistance is this. Okay. Let us connect a 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm in parallel to each other. Now, the total resistance can be found by the formula 1 by Rp equal 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, that is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. The LCM of 2, 3 and 6 will be 6. 2 3s are 6, 3 2s are 6 and 1 1s are 6. That means what you are getting, 1 by Rp is equal to 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. So, that means the total effective resistance is equal to 1 ohm. So, if we want to get 1 ohm from 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm resistors, all the 3 should be connected in parallel. Now, let us move on to the next question. What is the highest, the lowest total resistance that can be secured by the combination of 4 coils of resistances, 4 ohm, 8 ohm, 12 ohm and 24 ohm. Now, let us find out how we can solve this question. What is the highest and the lowest total resistance that you can obtain using a 4 ohm, an 8 ohm, a 12 ohm and a 24 ohm. The question is very specific. What is the highest and what is the lowest resistance that you can obtain? Just before I told you that the effective resistance is maximum in series and minimum in parallel. The value can never go higher than the highest. That means the highest value will come when you are putting in series and the lowest value will come when you are putting them in parallel. The first answer is very clear. The highest resistance is possible when all of them are in series. That means you have to connect 4, 8, 12 and 24 in series. That means the total resistance is the sum of the individual resistances. Each have a value 4, 8, 12 and 24. You add all of them, they will sum up to 12 plus 12, 24 plus 24, 48 ohm. You can see clearly the answer is bigger than the biggest of all the resistors given. So, when you put in series, the total resistance will become the maximum. Now, let us see when you can get the value minimum. If you want to get the minimum value, you must connect all the resistors in parallel. To get in parallel, 1 by Rp equal to the second answer I am discussing. If you want to get the value, the minimum value, 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 24. You have to take the LCM 24, 4 6 are 24, 8 3s are 24, 12 2s are 24 and 24 1s are 24. 6 plus 3 9 plus 2 11 plus 1 12, 12 divided by 24. That means the total resistance in parallel is becoming 24 divided by 12, that is 2 ohm. What were the resistors we connected? An 8 ohm, a 4 ohm, a 12 ohm and a 24 ohm, and you got an answer even lesser than the smallest of them. The smallest value among all the 4 of them is actually 4 ohm, and you have got an answer even lesser than the smallest of them. So, this shows very clearly that the total resistance in parallel is decreasing. So, if you want a combination where you want minimum resistance, then you put all the resistors in parallel. I hope today you were able to understand the concepts which I have taught you, and it was useful for you, and I hope everybody have understood. If any suggestions or any comments are there, you can contact, or you can just mention it on the SMS, just SMS it on the address that is given below, or you have any doubts you can call, and we will try to clear the doubts in the upcoming classes, in the next classes. Till then, until I see you again, and we will meet again in the next class. Bye bye.